Everybody loves dads, stories, and the Marine Corps. What could be better than Marine Corps dads who tell stories? Here's another story with veteran storyteller John Sugar Jr., a Marine Corps dad.
Tonight, we're going to tell the story of the Mexican jumping bean. Once upon a time, there was a jelly bean. And the jelly bean loved a lady jelly bean. And the two jelly beans, they got married. And one was a Mexican jelly bean, and one was an American jelly bean. And they got married, and they moved to the United States, and they settled down in a pueblo, and they had a bunch of baby jelly beans. But they did not know that in their bloodline was the Mexican jumping bean. And so one of the jelly beans, and his name was Rico. Rico, the Mexican jumping jelly bean. And so they would go outside to play with the other jelly beans, and Rico, the jumping jelly bean, would jump. And all the other jelly beans went, whoa, he jumped very high. You should go to the Olympics. And Rico say, no, I do not want to go to the Olympics. And they said, no, you should go. They will not take a jelly bean. They will take you, Rico. For you are the Mexican jumping jelly bean. And so, one day Rico, he packed his bags. I mean, how many bags does a jelly bean have? Probably many bags, right? Mm-hmm. Carry all his jelly stuff? Yeah. And so Rico, he take his bags, and he get on a bus. And he go to the Olympics, where all of the athletes are jumping and running and throwing spears, which in Spanish is called javelinas. You ever thrown a javelina? It's a weird sport. Now, Rico, he come up to the window and he say, I am Rico, the Mexican jumping jelly bean, and I want to enter into the Olympics. And the lady at the counter said, what? You're just a jelly bean. You can't go in the Olympics. And Rico, the jumping jelly bean, he got very offended. And he say, Senora, I, Rico, the Mexican jumping jelly bean, I will enter in these Olympics, and I will prove that I can jump with the best of them. And so she say, well, okay. And she let him in. And so Rico, he'll walk up to the line like a jelly bean. And he say, for my family, for my people. And they shoot the starting gun. And it scared him so bad. So bad that it scared Rico that he jumped super far. Farther than any jumping bean had ever jumped in the history of jumping beans. And the bean, he fell. And he fell into the sand. And the referee said, where did he go? And they looked over into the next area, and Rico had jumped so far. And he had jumped out of that area into another area. And so Rico won the Olympics. Their first Mexican jumping jelly bean who had ever done so. Let us all take a moment and say, Ole! For Rico, the jumping jelly bean. Can you say ole? Ole for the jumping jelly bean. The end.
That was another story with John Sugar Jr., a Marine Corps dad. Check the show notes for links to his Patreon and website at creativegrumbles.com.